Well, good morning, everybody. It is day 41, and we just got dropped off at a place called the Punch Bowl Gap on the Blue Ridge Parkway. And from there, we're heading south back towards the James River. It's going to be a shorter day today. I think it's around 11 miles. And but when you get dropped off these gaps, typically you're going to be heading uphill, and that's the case today. We got about 1.5 miles up to our highest peak with a viewpoint, and we'll stop there and see what views it offers. But as you saw from that photo, I'm hiking with a familiar face again, Pacer, and it's kind of nice to be hanging out with him today and building a plan out for the next few days. So we'll talk more about that plan as we solidify. This afternoon we'll be getting in back to the hostel that we're staying at. We'll talk more about that later. But we should be in by probably 2:30, 3 o'clock. That'll give us time to sit down together and really plan out what the next few days look like, which will probably be a bit shorter than what I've been doing for the last 3 days. But that's fine with me, to be honest with you. I'm in no major rush, and to take it a bit slower sounds like a grand plan for sure. So yeah, so that's where we are right now. So I hope everybody is having a great morning, and we will catch up with you as we get further down the trail. Have a great day. All right, everybody. I think we finally made it up to our highest point. That's the trail I came up, and I'm telling you, that was a good climb for the last 1.5 miles. Whew, that'll get you heart pumping in the morning. Nice workout. But this is the view you're rewarded, I guess, for climbing all the way up here. Lots of mountains and lots of Virginia valleys. I'm not sure what town that is. I like to tell you it's Glasgow, but I drove through Glasgow, and if you blink, you'll miss it. They got one restaurant and one Dollar General, and that's kind of it. So that looks like that might be a metropolis compared to Glasgow I saw. Unless there's Glasgow that maybe I missed. I'm not sure. But anyway, we're about, I don't know, maybe 2.5 miles in on an 11-mile day, and I can say with some degree of confidence, from here down going south towards the river, is we're going to start to lose elevation. Of course, there's one little bump up, but nothing of the significance I just climbed. So it should be a pretty easy day here on out for probably the next 8 to 9 miles till we get back to that James River basin. So overall, good day. It's a little chilly right now. I got chill bumps popping up on me, but I was sweating a while ago and I took my jacket off. But yesterday, you know, it did, actually in Glasgow it got up to over 80 degrees, and I was just washed out, to be honest with you. But this is actually welcomed weather for me for hiking. It's cool, it's windy, and it's comfortable once you're moving. Yesterday was just a bit too hot. Lots of sweat, bugs are flying, I got no gnat problems today, that's for sure. So all is good. So we're going to keep on trekking, keep on pushing down the hill, and we'll check back with you in just a bit. Let's make it a great day. Okay, I came across this memorial. I'm familiar with the memorial, but I didn't realize that it was right here. So it says this is the exact spot. Little Audie Klein Powell's body was found on April 5th, 1891, after straying from Tower Hill Schoolhouse on November 9th. Is a distance of 7 miles from the schoolhouse. He was age 4 years and 11 months. So, unless I'm confused about it, I don't think I am. The story goes that you know, it was like a one-room schoolhouse that included, you know, small children. Obviously, this is a 4-year-old, all the way up to, you know, teenage years, in this small community. And the schoolhouse was heated by firewood and you know, probably a wood stove or something like that. And the teacher had given instructions for the boys to go get some firewood, and so they were just going around the schoolhouse and picking up any loose limbs and things of that nature they could find for the stove. And the little Audie, he followed along, and he was doing what the big boys was doing. So somehow he got separated and got lost, and he walked further and further away, and unfortunately he died right there, exactly where that plaque was, according to the plaque. And they had, you know, had a pretty thorough search, but unfortunately did not find him in time. And so kind of a sad story, but anyway, I guess these things happen. You can only imagine the hardships and the challenges that people living up here would have had back in the late 1800s. You know, it's after the Civil War, and people trying to establish farms, and you know, had to be really tough living. So anyway, kind of a tragic story, but that's the story. All right, got a great viewpoint here. Shame we got all this brush. Maybe I can get up on this rock and get a little bit better view. I know it probably looks scary, but it's not that scary. Although if you go down there, it would be scary. Okay, that's a little better. Yeah. Very nice. Alright, so we only have about actually less than 8 miles left. So 4 hours, man, we're gonna be early. No, not really. It'd be 11:30. Perfect timing, actually. Maybe a little earlier than pickup, but that's kind of the way we usually plan it. But again, overall pretty good day. You can tell I went ahead and put my jacket back on because this wind was just too brisk. I was cold, and I don't know what the temperature is, but with the wind, it's pretty cold. I don't know if I mentioned it last night, but there was a small chance of rain last night that turned into something much larger. We had a pretty massive thunder lightning storm that happened after midnight last night, and just buckets of rain came down. And after the rain, I guess it just kind of brought in this little cooler front, so it's welcomed. Certainly better than yesterday, but wow, what a change from yesterday. Went from really hot blue skies. Today is much cooler with partly cloudy skies, but it's not so bad that you still don't have some long range views. So it's a good day. It's a good day. Let's take another look real quick. Zoom you out. Yeah. Beautiful day. All right, see y'all down the trail. All right, we have some views kind of through the trees. This will be our first look, at least from the northern perspective of the James River. If you really squint, let me zoom you in here. There you go. So you might recognize the bridge we came across yesterday, of course coming from the south and crossing towards the north. So today that's where our destination is yet again, and should have a pickup there in about 3 hours or less. So that's the plan. I'm doing my best to try to find a place that's out of the wind, maybe just to sit down and have a snack or something. But I'm not being too successful. It'll be on this side of the hill for sure if I can find one. And I know I'm pretty, I'm a bit in front of Pacer. There he is right there. And we'll connect and maybe find a spot to have a little lunch. All right, talk to y'all later. All right, folks. This is probably the view of the day, if not the view of the week. Check this out. That's something, huh? Again, you see the long-range view of the James River, and probably, again, recognize the James River footbridge. We're gonna head there. What a beautiful view, huh? Skies, clouds. Very nice. Pretty little footbridge as we lead up to the final big footbridge. Yeah, we're all but done now, folks. Almost there. All right, folks, we are nearing the end of our journey today. I got to check. We've got 1.3 miles and about 45 minutes to get it done. So I'd say, yeah, I think I can pull that off. Been a good day. What a vast change in weather. Although it's remained consistently windy, it's warmed up really nicely. We're down, of course, now near these beautiful waters that flow into the James River, similar to what we saw yesterday on the other side of the river. But yeah, I wanted to share with you, I think I shared a couple weeks ago when my granddaughter had a birthday, the fact that, there's things that unfortunately you're going to miss. You make a choice to be here, you can't be in two places at once. And another example of that is happening. My mom and dad, Don and Barbara, are going to be celebrating their 65th wedding anniversary. I'm really proud of them. I want to wish them a very, very happy anniversary. I certainly wished that there was a way that I could be there. Almost missed the trail. Wish there was a way that I could be there and be along with them, but unfortunately I cannot. I'm happy to know that they are going to go this weekend and spend some time with my older brother and celebrate a little bit that way too. so that's good. And yeah, they've had a really long-lasting marriage, setting a gold standard for all of us in the family to shoot for. I think we all could hope to live this long and be happy and healthy as they have, to enjoy 65 years of marriage. So that's awesome. So these are great people, hardworking, instilled in us a strong work ethic, than the whole American dream kind of stuff. You get what you work for. So yeah, most of their a lot of their adult lives were spent working in factories and textile mills and furniture factories and things like that, doing what they had to do to make a living, but at the same time knowing that you got to put back and save a bit, right? And certainly learned a lot about that. You know, when you're 22, 23 years old, right out of college, you think you're going to live forever and you got plenty of time to save money for retirement. But it'll sneak up on you, folks. And I was told early on, and I appreciate the guidance, that save as much as you can, because someday you might have a rainy day, but you also might have an opportunity to retire early. So here I am at 60 years old, while I still have decent health, climbing mountains and having fun in the woods and doing it all without a job. And I think that's pretty cool. And I don't think I'd be where I am if it hadn't been for that guidance and direction. So I sure appreciate them. Sure miss not seeing them here the next day or so for their anniversary, but get some breath. I just want them to know I love y'all very much, and I will be back as soon as I can. And when I get back, we'll celebrate our own way and have a big time. Wish y'all a great anniversary and many, 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 many more in the future. Best wishes to y'all. Love you very much. Alright folks, we are at Scoto's restaurant in the big city of Glasgow. They're closed on Monday. Yesterday was Monday. So needless to say, they've got a lot of pinned up demand, which you tend to have when you only have one restaurant in the entire town. And now it's open. Let's go see what we get into.